Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. It is there, the January team update. I know some people of you are mad and angry. Some people of you are maybe happy. But overall, the most of you people, and I'm pretty sure about that, are just being confused. And the reason for this is the January update. And why it is like that, we're gonna check out now together. I read it actually already all the stuff here, so I gonna skip the part where just gonna be like, oh, new patches, new content, whatever. I'm not surprised anymore. Maybe some of you are, and well, in case you didn't saw it already, just sit down, please, okay? Because it's gonna be mind blowing. So everyone was always talking about tier 1 content, giving you tier 1 content guides and whatever, me myself as well. Well, now they told us basically, well, watch out content creators, watch out gamers, you have to prepare a lot more. Since we're gonna have a launch with tier 3 content already. Not everything of it, and we're gonna look more specifically into that as well. But first we're gonna go over some order notes that they give us as well. I just wanted to spoiler you a bit to get you guys a bit hyped. Well, in this video we also gonna talk, of course, about everything here. And I just want to give you some facts on what's going on, because as I say, the most of you are just completely confused. The most of you don't know the content that's coming, and because of the unknowing that you just don't know, you're just gonna think now okay, I can never catch up. I cannot do anything in this game anymore. I need to quit my job. I need to quit my life. What is a family? Don't worry, you can have all these things. You can even have two families if you want to. Not gonna judge you on that. It's your choice, I guess. But yeah, with that being said, we're just gonna go directly into it. Well, first of all, they're gonna tell us that we have Yorn region, Felton region, and Punica, which is tier 3. So Felton and Yorn is tier 2 content. They're just gonna tell you a bit about the story here, and that you get new quests, bosses, chaos engines, and more. So not really surprising in that case, right? So if you care about what you're actually doing there, you can read that yourself. We not go over this since I don't want to have this video too long, and we're just gonna check out the important stuff. So of course, tier 3 content, what is going to be there, it's going to be the most important thing for the most of you. But we're gonna skip that because this is the part where we're gonna talk a bit more, and I just want to take the other stuff first. So first of all, Steam achievements, you're gonna have 173 Steam achievements available. So if someone cares about that, well, congratulations, you have them now. Then character voice selection, so that means you have more options to choose your voice of your character. So if some voices on your character sound similar than my voice, and you watch already a lot of my videos and you don't want to hear me over again, well, you can swap the voice of your character and make it to something else if you want to. Then here's some stuff based on the player feedback, the Korean voiceover DLC. Some early game cutscenes are now skippable, so also great, I guess, for everyone that watched just the cutscenes already 1 billion times. Balance tweaks for pacing of the game. Not really any information here. They just say that they're gonna revamp it and rebalance it. So we don't really know what this exactly means. So not really worth to talk about it if we don't get exact notes, right? And then character customization questions. What are the character stronghold and guild name restrictions? So this is basically the whole thing goes about how many letters can you have for your character, for your stronghold, for your guild name. Well, the most important thing are probably the guild name and the character names. So for guild names, it is limited to 2 to 20 characters. And for the character name, it's 2 to 16 letters. So that means if you have a character and you want to call him the Pink Paladin from the Hill, it's not gonna work since it's going to be more than 16 letters. So you have to choose a name that like just has maximum 16 letters, and you're gonna be fine with that. Then here's some founder packs and skin questions. Is it possible to stake founder packs for multiple rewards? Yes, it is. Some of them. I saw a post from a community manager not long ago, and he was like text marking all the stuff that is stackable. So some of it is. If you ask me if it is worth it, not really, unless you want to have like a pad or so in a different color, I think, and like 2 different skins. So if you want to have that, you can go for it. If I find the post again, I'm just gonna link it. I'm not so sure if I'm gonna find it back though, to be fair. But I will watch out for that. How will you receive your founder pack contents, and for what classes are they available? So this is basically, well, I'm just gonna answer with my words on it. You can get the founder pack in game, so you have like a button on the top left, so it doesn't matter on which character you want it, and it's not going to be on your first character in the inventory or so. So you can always click on it whenever you want it. So you can also do it later on another character, so you don't have to create it directly. You don't have to be worried about that. You can choose the skin whenever you feel like doing that. No one is going to force you. Well, then some missed gameplay questions, like guild leader stuff and whatever. Will players be able to change the font in game? Stuff like that really matters. For the stuff with the guild leader, it is maybe important for some people that don't like their guild leader, because if the guild leader has not logged in after 10 days, there is a system that can be used to promote the deputy of the guild to be the new guild leader. So if you don't like your guild leader, simply put him in a cave in real life for 10 days, give him maybe some water and some bread. After 10 days, you can let him out and you can choose another guild leader. Of course, I hope my guild leader is not watching this video, because then he knows what we gonna do to him if he's not nice to us. But yeah, really important thing. Maybe this year is also really interesting. Rather than having roster-based PvP rankings, can it be character-based? So for those who don't know, at the moment the ranking base is on the WoW account, and they are asking if it can be for the character. So in case you play a second character, he doesn't have to start on Grandmaster ranking if you are a Grandmaster. So you have like a better time learning him in the lower ranks. And they just answered basically on that they don't have any plans changing it, but they're gonna listen to player feedback. So if it is important for someone, try your luck, open some Reddit posts, I don't know. For me, I don't know, like it doesn't really make that much of a big difference for me if the rank is like on the account or on the character. I can understand the reason why you want to have it on the character, as well as I can understand the people that say they want to have it on their account. I'm gonna play a lot of PvP, but I don't really care about that, so I don't have an opinion on it. You decide yourself, right? But leave me out from that conversation. I have nothing to do with that. I didn't say anything what's better. Okay, it's not my fault, whatever is happening there. Then looking ahead, they just tell us that they're gonna give us more informations in the future. Also over here somewhere, they tell us that they're gonna give us full patch notes before the launch. So we're gonna have a full patch note list. This is just like a little hint on what they're gonna do with our content. Well, with that being said, let's come finally to the important part, the tier 3 content. So the stuff that confuses everyone. Everyone is afraid of it. No one wants it. But I'm gonna be here to be like your big brother and tell you everything is going to be fine. Well, let's read this first, and then we're gonna talk a bit about this. So we're gonna stay a bit on this topic, I guess. And again, I didn't wrote anything down, so it's just free talking. If I forget something mentionable to say here, I just gonna put it as a comment in my own video. So you just gonna see that, and if you wanna have the full opinion on it there as well, just read through that. But yeah, Tier 3 gear will be available at launch, as well as a few core Tier 3 dungeons to support proper progression, including Aria as well, which is an abyssal dungeon, so basically in our language, void dungeons, but now abyssal dungeons, right? Chaos Dungeon Stage 3, which is basically just, well, like the normal Chaos Dungeons, nothing really changed in Tier 3. Stage 3 means just there's like 3 different level of Chaos Dungeons for different gear score. And then the Velganos Guardian Raid, which is for gear score 1370 or 80. I'm not really so sure about it anymore. He is basically one of the last Guardian raids, like he's like the last Guardian raid in his bracket, which means he's like Titalos, Ash Shades, or however you spell him, I don't really know. But like those bosses, so he is like a lot harder. And to be fair, like he can suck. Not gonna lie. Most people actually ignore him on that content, and they don't even gonna farm him. Um, which is like something I consider to do myself. Technically, you want to have like a warlord on him or so, and supporter. Like it's gonna be really important in that fight. He's definitely not a guardian you want to do alone or whatever. Like you can just forget that, I guess. But yeah, he's like doing a lot of weird stuff, so it's actually really good to have like supporters there as well, and a warlord that just like taunts him all the time. But with that being said, like I probably, even if I gonna play warlord, warlord is gunlancer by the way, as a main, I probably gonna ignore him and I just gonna farm Dark Acrasia, Arcania, like this Dark Fox, whatever. I don't even remember the full name at the moment. Like I don't know how to spell it. But yeah. So with that being said, that's going to be our content. So our max gear score should be 1430 if we get our gear plus 25. To be fair, for the people that care about what I gonna do, I probably just gonna do my gear plus 15 and I'm gonna sit there, and then I'm gonna wait till we get Augurs, because then we get legendary gear at this point. We only have epic gear, so I'm gonna wait till we have Augurs and transfer the stats into my legendary gear and upgrade from there again. But yeah, so the combat level cap has been increased to 60, so that means your character can just level up to 60 now. Before that, like in Rondel, it was up to 55, and now it's up to 60. Not really worth to rush over there, so for the people that fear about never catching up. Of course, at some point, it's going to be better to have one level more, so more skill points and all that stuff. But it is like no one is going to rush over there, so you don't have to be afraid as a casual that you cannot catch up or whatever. Like, even people like me, like I don't like run 1 billion chaos dungeons at the end game to level up my alt, to level up my main. I prefer to level up alts in that time instead of doing like content like that. And then there's additional tier 3 content will be added to the game post launch in order to set the pace for player progression, both in terms of new content and optimal difficulty. So we will see what they're gonna do there as well. So not really concrete information, so we cannot really do anything with that. But yeah, we have two other informations as well. I just want to like throw in the room here. I just need to check where it is. Well, I have a community manager was sending out a message, which basically means tier 3 content at launch is limited, so that players will only get their feet wet, which we can obviously see here. So we don't have like raids, so we don't gonna have Argos, we don't gonna have Legion commanders, all that stuff, like all the good stuff we're gonna have later. But this decision was made with Smilegate. This is also really good because, in case someone doesn't know that, Smilegate is the developer. This game is like, as far as I can believe that, hashtag #1 MMORPG over there in Korea, of course. I just don't really know that since I'm not living in Korea. I don't really know what MMORPGs they have. It's what everyone is telling me from the game, but to be fair, you guys know it. Everyone from a certain game always tells you it's the best MMORPG. So don't quote me on that, but I just gonna believe them since it's a lot of people that I know actually say the same. So maybe in terms of numbers, it is the biggest, but I don't want to like make a quote on that. But yeah. So basically what they said, but this decision was made with Smilegate so that we can introduce Abyss raids to the game sooner rather than later. They are a unique part of the Lost Ark and a big draw for players. Well, nothing really to say against that. So basically what they want to tell us with this message is that we basically gonna be able to go to tier 3 and we're just gonna be there and waiting until they release the Abyss race. Well, with giving us tier 3 content, they don't have to do the stuff like tier 1 content for 3 months, tier 2 content for 3 months, and then tier 3 content, like the stage where we're gonna be at the beginning for 6 months and then August. So we can just like go all in our speed over there, and I am pretty sure, I mean, they're gonna see the statistics and whatever, and it is something I believe they're gonna do, and I really hope they're gonna do that. And of course they can make a roadmap and tell us like, okay, you're gonna play this now and August comes 2 months after this release. Could be possible. But I think they, like, even if they gonna say something like that, I think they just gonna sit there and gonna watch the numbers. If there's like only 5% of the players in tier 3 and ready for August, it doesn't really make that much sense in my opinion to release it for like a 5% of the player base. So I guess they're gonna wait then on that until more players are coming and they will reach it. Well, then there was another post that Power Pass will not be available at launch. So that means you can just not straight up boost the character or something like that. For people that think they can just like credit swipe and boost their character directly over there, that's not gonna be possible. We don't know when they're gonna add those. I guess on the August content that some people can skip to Phaeton or Phaeton, whatever is the name for us. Phaeton. Yeah, I need to learn to use the right names. So probably over there with gear score 1302, and then they still have to do the Punika storyline, and then they can enter tier 3. I guess it's going to be like that, but I'm also not really sure about this. Well, so that's basically the tier 3 content. So we're gonna have like 2 Abyss dungeons, 3 Chaos dungeons, and like, well, basically the 4 Guardians from tier 3. And that's about it. Like, we don't really gonna have a lot more content. So people that are sitting there are just gonna wait for the raids, and everyone of course has still a good amount of time to catch up. So since I care more about the majority of the game, because if the majority of the game is happy, I am happy, since an MMORPG needs players, and I know you guys think like everyone is selfish. I'm not, because I see the bigger picture, and an MMORPG with like more players is just more enjoyable. So we need to take care of our casuals, of our people that have families and whatever. They just don't want to straight up spend all their lifetime sitting in an online game, which is totally understandable, but they still want to enjoy it, of course. And for those people, you don't have to be scared or whatever, because there's so much content. And yes, of course, there's a lot of stuff to do, but you're still gonna do the same progression. It's not really gonna change anything, just that people that want to rush through the game and they already know it, just gonna have a bit more content. And of course, they're gonna be earlier there than you, but you're still gonna have a lot of time. I don't have to post what they said exactly, but someone said from the community managers that the casual players will have enough time, so you don't have to worry about that. Well, so good, so far so good, right? For the tier 1 content, basically there's nothing changed. I have an advanced progression guide where we use some islands to get resources, so we can still use that to like come to around 420 gear score, and then upgrade us from there with like the normal things: chaos dungeons, guardian raids, tower, void dungeons, making maybe some alts, giving more materials into our mains, and then you come to tier 2, and in tier 2 you're basically gonna do the same. You're gonna have again islands that give you a lot of rewards. You're gonna have Abyss Dungeons, Chaos Dungeon, Guardian Raids. So you're gonna do all that stuff and you're just gonna have a normal progression. I'm gonna make an advanced guide for tier 2 as well, where we're just gonna like note down all the islands with resources and whatnot. To be fair, I actually have to get a proper plan myself first. So it's not coming tomorrow, but like in the next days, but definitely before the launch. And then, well, tier 3 is going to be the same again. So again, like we have our Abyss Dungeons, Chaos Dungeons, Guardian Raids, maybe some islands, I'm not even sure. I never did islands there, to be fair. But if so, I will figure that out, don't worry. And yeah, we're just gonna upgrade our gear from there on, and then at some point we all gonna wait for the Argus raid, and this is going to be the interesting content. For the people that say like, oh yeah, this SmerlowTV is always talking about islands that like let us overjump some Guardian raids. What about the old content? I want to play the old content as well. Why is this old content meaningless? Well, it is actually not, because this game has a really cool mechanic. Well, like it or not, but I like it. It has a really cool mechanic where it recycles the old content and makes it worthful again. Which is basically called synced Abyss Dungeons and synced Guardians. That's what people are like to call them. Basically, it is Mythic Guardians and Trial Abyss Dungeons. To be fair, like I was going through so many patches and they always renamed it. I don't really know what is the actual name, but I can tell you what it is. So basically, every week you're gonna have other void dungeons in there, so you have the whole week time to complete them, and they are like separated from the normal void dungeons. And in this special void dungeons, your gear doesn't matter. Your engravings still do, but that's the only thing, and the tree pods and whatever, but your gear doesn't matter. So you can be gear score 2000 and you're not gonna do more damage than someone that is gear score 1000, right? Well, unless he has different engravings than you and plays a different class. But with that being on side, so you're gonna basically fight the dungeons on the gear score they are meant to be, and they're gonna be hard. So they're gonna be challenging, and especially for new players, they're going to be really hard. You need to play the mechanics really well. So you have to learn the stuff, and this stuff is going to be, surprise, surprise, all content. So the old content is not gone. So since this is counting for void dungeons and for guardian raids, well, basically you're still gonna do all the old content and you don't really overjump anything in that case, since you're gonna play later. So it doesn't really matter. You never like really skip through the stuff and you're never gonna see it again. Well, unless like chaos dungeons, but chaos dungeons are always like a 15-minute instance where you just like AoE some monsters and that's it. You call it a day, right? So again, for normal players, they still gonna have the normal progression between tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. It can be possible that we need even maybe to spend like a bit less materials. I assume that. Although, as an example, Saint One said that we will not have a catch-up mechanic, so like nothing like in Russia currently that you always have a 100% chance to increase stuff in lower tier content. So there's like going to be luck involved and unlucky players that just gonna need to farm a bit more resources. So stuff like that is going to happen since Saint is saying it. You can't fully trust on that. So no reason to not believe that. So yeah. With that being said, some people like we don't really know how fast we're gonna rush through it. We can still use all the island threads to make it as fast as possible, and I know you guys always want to have like an estimated time from any player that played this content already, and you just want to have it to 100% be correct. Well, in that case, my estimated time, because we don't really know what they're gonna do, and this can be faster, and I'm pretty sure it's not really going to be slower, unless you never really play the game. But to be fair, then you don't really count for that statistic, okay? So I guess like for the normal casual player, you're gonna sit between like 2 weeks and a month in tier 1. I guess it's going to be round about a month for tier 2 as well, or even like 1.5 months. And then you're gonna reach tier 3 and you're gonna slowly upgrade there and just get your time. So I guess like as long you still stay in that time, you're still gonna be good. Um, for the people that just like gonna rush and play 24/7, of course you're probably gonna do all this stuff in the half of the time. Um, and if you swipe your credit card, you're even gonna be faster. But at the end, it is going to be like tier 1 content will be for us. If we rush hard, we're gonna sit there and we're gonna wait. We not really gonna have meaningful content to do, so we're gonna set up alls. Um, Also for tier 3 content, which is really important, is of course progress always your character each day. So basically do chaos dungeons, guardian raids, void dungeons, and all the stuff you have to do weekly. And after this, you want to like try to get skill points. You want to try to get engraving books. If you don't know what engravings are good, basically check out some guides. I'm gonna make some guides for some classes as well. Other than this, Saint One has a lot of guides about engravings in general and whatnot. There's like sites like maxroll.gg if I'm not wrong, but I'm gonna post the sites into the YouTube description. They're just gonna have a lot of class guides. There's the site Papunica that has a lot of guides. So you can always find stuff to like just know what you want to have, and basically farm for this engraving books. They're gonna boost you a lot, and especially in tier 3 they are going to be needed because the content actually gets hard there. um Nothing you cannot learn, don't get me wrong. You can also of course overgear the content first and then like try to next guardian raid or whatever. um you can still do all that stuff, of course just a bit slower. But yeah, try to focus on the collectibles and stuff like that as well a bit. um Try to just get as much as you can, like whatever your time is allowing you, and you're gonna be fine over there. Also of course, if you have a lot of time, try to get an alt up as well. It's just gonna give you more materials, and that's basically it. So it is nothing really complicated or whatever. It is of course like it basically upgraded our level phase by a lot, of course. So, but yeah, other than this, it's nothing else. Like we're gonna reach a gate and we're gonna wait there, and people gonna catch up. And I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be like, oh, one player reached tier 3 content, we have to release August now. They gonna wait for you. I mean, that's at least what they told us, that you guys can reach it, so you don't have to be worried about that. Like, don't listen on someone that just like was going after the post, like making a Reddit post and was just like crying around. This game is trash now. You cannot catch up. Prices are going to be dumb, fucked, or whatever once you reach the end game content. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be like that. Of course, this is all the stuff that's gonna happen, right? Like, just build your own opinion on it. I am a YouTuber, and I should not say that. And other YouTubers are maybe gonna hate me, but like, just truly don't believe what any YouTuber or something else is telling you, because we are also just humans, and even if we played the game, nothing is really telling us a lot about it. It just gives us like some informations, and we still assume stuff to it, so we don't really know what is going to happen. Like, we can never be 100% sure, and I'm not working for Smilegate, so I can definitely not tell you. So this is like my opinion, this is what I think. Well, I obviously believe it's always it's like the most of it is going to be like I just told you. But of course things can change, make your own opinion, but like, just do me one favor, and that's the most important thing. Don't stress yourself. At the end of the day, it is still a game, and you want to have fun. Like, don't forget that, okay? So like, don't stress yourself, don't quit your job, don't call your wife. You're not gonna see her anymore for like a month. You don't need all of these things. As long as you have fun in the game, even if you are a bit slower, don't stress yourself. It's a beautiful game, it has a lot of content to offer. and just to wait a bit earlier on the next content, it's definitely not worth it. So enjoy your time. It is a beautiful game, still, even with the tier 3 content. Um, for me, I wish it would be still tier 1 and then at some point tier 2 for casual players, so at least everyone would not have the feeling that they should stress themselves. So it will slow down a bit of stuff, and me as a veteran player, I don't mind waiting a bit longer on the content. Well, this is now with what we have to deal with it. On the other side, I can understand why they want to do that, since they just don't want to like sit there 3 months in tier 1 for no reason, that the half of the people are quitting during that time or whatever. So they're not gonna face those problems. There's a good side, there's a bad side, of course. But at the end, I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm really optimistic about what is going to happen to the game. And with that being said, I'm just gonna end the video right here. And of course, tell me your opinion in the comment section below. I really care about what you guys are thinking. And see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.